You can't really be friends with anybody who has a hint of jealousy about anything that you're doing. Certainly about your success, being celebrated or anything that you have. You cannot be friends. If you see that in somebody, I say those little whispers where somebody is like, well, okay, well, look at you. You cannot. You cannot. You have to distance yourself or you have to cut that thing off.
You have to cut them off at the first sign of jealousy. The thing with jealousy is that it doesn't go away, it only grows. You have to save yourself. You're not overreacting. You have to trust your intuition or your gut or whatever that thing is, that feeling that is telling you that something is off. When you get that feeling, believe it. Ladies, you have to learn to stop second guessing yourself when you feel something is off about someone, because that feeling can save you from harm or even save your life. If you are experiencing a friend who always throws subtle shade or jabs or acts funny when you're doing well, cut them off. It's not something you want to ignore. These jealous and insecure people are always a serious threat to your peace and your safety. The thing about jealous friends is that they will do their best to undermine and sabotage you while smiling in your face the whole time. Sometimes it's so subtle that you don't even notice. For example, you could tell someone that you have a really great idea for a business that you want to start, and then here they come, speaking fear into your dream by saying things like, why would you start a business? Most businesses fail within the first 3 to 4 years. Or something else to look out for is, now this friend wants to do the same thing that you're doing and it becomes a competition, but only in their mind. Or have you noticed that every time you start something new or interested in something, now here they come with the same interest, or they act like they've been doing it or been known about it, or treating you like you're the one that's late? Let me know in the comments if that's ever happened to you. Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. It's Tiffany Celeste of Your Wellness Era. I create content that will help you become your best self by leveling up your mental health, prioritizing your self-care, and evaluating your relationships and creating a lifestyle of ease. So if any of these things sound interesting to you, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications, and please like the video. Today we're diving into why women of substance should avoid jealous and insecure women at all costs. Trust me when I say it's a lesson I've learned the hard way, and I'm here to make sure that you don't have to go through what I did. Focus on protecting your peace, elevating your life in silence, and cutting off anyone who tries to dim your light. So sit back and listen in on these stories and advice from women and men who have experienced jealousy and envy and what they did about it. And I will give further commentary on the back end of the video with 5 additional points on how to remove jealous friends from your life.
There's another form of jealousy out there that people don't talk about enough. And yeah, people can be jealous of you because of what you look like and what you got. Yeah, that's cool and all. But let me tell you something. Survivor jealousy to me trumps all jealousy. Survivor jealousy is when you survive some shit. People love when you down. They gonna pat you on your back. They gonna tell you, you can do it. Get on up, get up, and get up. And watch what happens. Some of those people that was patting you on your back turn into sabotagers and then will be mad that you survived their sabotage. People will be so jealous that you overcame obstacles and that you took that negativity and put it to the back of your life and got ahead of your life. A lot of people won't be able to do that. A lot of people are going to lay down and stay down. But if you were one of them people that got down and got back up, the jealousy that you face is totally different, and to me trumps all other forms of jealousy. Survivor jealousy is real.
Come sit on this porch with me, baby. If you have ever had somebody who is jealous or envious of you, your abilities, your connections, let's talk. And I'm talking jealousy that looks like destruction. They are trying to destroy your connections, destroy your success, sabotage, or assassinate your character. That's who we're talking about. Uh-oh, the light shined on me again. The Lord's finna use me. When a person feels inadequate within themselves, that inadequacy can spill over and manifest as envy and jealousy. Why? because you possess something they desire. When a person perceives themselves as lacking in certain areas, they compare themselves unfavorably to you or somebody else who possesses what it is that they desire. So that comparison triggers jealousy and envy. So now, because they focus on the things that they lack instead of appreciating the qualities that they have, they end up resenting the very person who possesses those qualities that they covet. Comparison is natural. Being envious or jealous to the point where you're trying to be destructive is not. And for that person who has that feeling of inadequacy or those feelings of inadequacy, that is a signal of the insecurities within them. And it's not going to change until they really start building that self-acceptance and that gratitude towards the qualities, the attributes, the characteristics, the successes that they possess. For most people, it's not hard to admit that they admire something that somebody possesses. But for a person who has a deep-rooted feeling of inadequacy that has not done the work to actually work through those feelings, they can't admit that they simply just admire you or what it is that you have. It's their mindset. So if you are dealing with that type of person, if that person is around you, remove yourself from that person because they have some internal work to do. And the only thing that's going to come out of it is the demolish of you, what you've built, or their attempt to sabotage everything good for you. Because then they'll feel better because they want to bring you to a level that they see themselves or that they perceive themselves at. Don't waste your time, honey. Burn the bridge. All right? Bye, baby.
Y'all know I always talk about dating down will bring you down. Well, today I want to talk about befriending people who have less than you. If their hearts are not pure, that admiration they have for you will turn into hateration. And I want to share a few of my experiences. So I realized that I don't hold women to the same standard that I hold men to. You know, he needs to have some motion, he needs to have some business about himself, or he can't be around me. But with women, I'm just a little bit more lenient. So, you know, I had befriended a female. I thought she was just a genuine, sweet female. And she didn't have no business, no motion. She didn't want to go to college and get a degree. She didn't have any goals, no ambition, like no nothing. You know, she saw the world in a very dark and negative light. I didn't realize at the time that I was actually trauma bonding with her because we shared some of the same brokenness. And once I healed, I didn't have anything in common with her anymore. Despite that, I would still try to keep our friendship alive. And so I would come to her about my ideas, my visions, and my goals. And like, girl, we could do this, you know, together, we could go here. And she would always remind me of my limitations and how people wouldn't support that and how it just was impossible. You know, she was projecting her failures and her abilities on me. Once I began to heal, my creativity began to unlock. See, the thing was, she wasn't healing. So her creativity, it was blurred. She couldn't see beyond her pain and betrayal that was done to her. But because I was coming to peace with my betrayal and pain, I was looking forward to the future, right? And this is where our friendship, you know, where I could see we were growing apart. Don't get me wrong, the chemistry between us was great. And this is why I genuinely tried to make the friendship work. But as I began to prosper in different areas and it began to be seen publicly, I guess it triggered her because when I looked up, she had, you know, unfollowed me and disconnected from me on social media, you know, with no explanation, nothing, just, you know, because I wasn't posting anything but the blessings that was on my life and what God has done. I'm not going to be quiet. Nobody's going to silence me about what God is doing in my life. So I guess that triggered her. And so she just, you know, disconnected from me. Now I've learned to create standards even in friendships. Like if you don't have, you know, some type of motion and business about yourself or career about yourself, we're not compatible like that. You know, because if I hold a man to that same standard, I'm going to hold women. You ain't got to be driving no Rolls Royce. You ain't got to have $100,000 in your bank account. I'm not talking about that extreme. But you need to at least have some type of independency and motion about yourself. You need to at least have that at the minimum. You'll be amazed at how many women are in my inbox. Girl, we got to connect. Girl, we ought to hang out. And some of them are opportunists. They want to latch on. They here for the benefits. They here to go higher, and they're not genuinely trying to connect with the Nessa. And I'm at that place now in my life where I want people who genuinely are for me. I really just encourage women that it's okay to set a standard for men and women. Don't just let anybody in your life, because a man or a woman can try to exploit you and take advantage of you and, use you to further their agenda. So it's important to stay guarded. The Bible says to guard your heart. You got to guard yourself. You can't just let anybody in. So when people disconnect from me or leave my heart, I promise you, I don't lose sleep over it. I'm not bothered by it because I'm already guarded. I'm protected. So I just want to share that.
This is how you know if you have a jealous friend. I just want to start by saying people can be jealous of you for many reasons. How you look, the type of job you have, the type of lifestyle you live. Sometimes it's something intangible, like your personality. Yes, people can be jealous of your personality. So here are 3 signs that you have a jealous friend. Number 1, they withhold praise. They are never happy for you and they never give you compliments. It's just such an easy way to tell. Like, anybody who refuses to celebrate your wins hates you. And if they never want to give you compliments ever, it's because they hate you. Because why wouldn't you want your friends to feel celebrated? Number 2, they start acting weird when you guys get around other people. Because they feel threatened by you, they're gonna say or do things to embarrass you in front of others. And number 3, they're always in secret competition with you. You could tell them that you're proud of yourself for waking up at 8 a.m. and they would be like, oh, well, I woke up at 6 a.m. Okay, girl, chocolate chip or oatmeal? Which cookie do you want? Once you see the signs, get rid of them.
This is absolutely true. When someone is secretly in competition with you or they have some other issue with you, there will be a lot of nonverbal cues that let you know. Here are 3 of those signs. Number 1 is you always catch them looking at you. The way I like to think of it is keeping your eye on the competition. No matter where you are in the room, you'll always catch them sort of keeping an eye on you to see how you're doing. Now, just to be clear, not everyone that's looking at you is in competition with you, but you'll know the vibes when you feel it, and you have to trust yourself. When you catch them watching you and you're like, yeah, that's something else, you're probably right. Number 2, micro expressions. My favorite is when you walk in the room and they either look like they're upset or they look like they're happy to see you. And the thing about micro expressions is they only last a couple seconds. You'll see that initial reaction and then they put the mask back on. When they first lay eyes on you, do they look happy or do they look annoyed? Number 3 is they roll their eyes or they hit the when they see you being praised. This is the one that I always catch people doing to me. But here's what's important for you to know. There's a reason why they are rolling their eyes when you succeed. And it's because you're the one that is succeeding. I say this all the time, but if there wasn't something special about you, then they wouldn't be trying to compete with you.
Let me tell you what's crazy. I had a friend just like this. When I say she moved in the same apartments I lived in, she wanted to drive the same car I drove. I had to convince her to get the Acura and not another coupe. She wanted the exact same color. She would wear her hair like mine. She would date guys that look like the guys that I was dating. And when things did not work out for her the way they were working out for me, because she was trying to do what I was doing, she would be so mad at me. She would be so angry, so flustered. This is why I don't like hanging with people who don't have a personality and have low self-esteem. Because when women have low self-esteem, they tend not to know who they are or what they really like or what they really want. And it shows up in every aspect of their life. They, like I said, they won't have a personality, and they just want to be what they see. And they want to be what they see works out for other people. And it just becomes a really big conflict of interest, and then they get mad with you. That same friend, she tried to see me in a car accident. Like, when I say I can go into a whole story time about this girl, and I let her back in my life 2 times. The 3rd time, I cut that hoe off and I never let her back in, because when she would get mad at me, she would say stuff to me like, what I really want to say to you, we're not going to be friends after I say it. And I'm like, but you're trying to be me, so what is it that you want to say to me that's we're not going to be friends? I said, bitch, you want my whole life. So I had to like check her and put her in her place. And I let her know, I was like, you're jealous. And in her mind, she could not register the fact that she was jealous. It was so odd. Like, it was so odd. So listen, You cannot be friends with people who don't have their own personality. You can't.
And yes, it's true that some people can have more than you and still envy you and still want, for some reason, have this burning desire to humble you. You have a light that they want to dim. You have a flame that they want to put out. And you have a confidence about you that they feel like is superior. You think you're better than us, so I'm going to take you off that high horse. But it's like, no, I know who I am. I know whose I am. And you don't like that I'm confident, so you want to humble me. Let's just call a spade a spade. When you know you have a light and you walk, talk, and act like you have a light, that's the problem. When you know what your purpose is and you're walking in that purpose or you're walking towards that purpose, that's the problem. They got the cars, the clothes, the family, the marriage, all of the materialistic things, and still they haven't quite yet put their finger on the thing that you got your finger on. That's the problem. You have a light and you know you have a light. You have a purpose and you know what that purpose is. That is the problem.
The older I get, the easier it is for me to realize when somebody does not like me. I used to be so clueless and just not see when people were jealous of me or not be able to see when people didn't like me. But let me tell y'all, for my other clueless girlies, here are 3 signs that that girl does not like you. She ain't your friend. She might be acting like your friend, but she's not. Number 1, every time you bring up something, whether it's a guy, whether it's clothes, whether it's what you got going on with your life or career, she's always trying to compare. You can't bring up nothing in your life without her trying to compare it to hers. You don't get a moment. It's going to be y'all's moment. Jealous. Number 2, this person has a hard time giving you compliments or praise. You will praise them. You will hype them up. You will, yes, girl, you will woo, 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 and scream for them when they get something accomplished. But when it's your turn around, it's a whisper. Congratulations, girls. Jealous. And lastly, y'all get along best when you're doing bad. When you're at your lowest points, mentally, physically, you may be going through a hard time with breakups, or you may be going through a hard time with school. That's when it seems like y'all relationship is the closest. But whenever you feel like you're doing good, or whenever things are looking up, or things are flourishing, or you in a healthy relationship, or you doing good, it's always friction, or it always feel weird. It only feels good in a relationship when you're doing bad. If these 3 signs apply, please get rid of that friend. This is your sign. Get rid of her. That girl is not your friend.
So somebody who feels envious of you ends up befriending you. And consciously, they may not be even aware of that. They think, well, I do want to like them. But unconsciously, they feel envy. They think that you have success that you don't necessarily deserve, that you have what they want. Right? They become your friend and they charm you, et cetera, et cetera. And then lo and behold, you start noticing all kinds of behavior that's very ugly that you weren't expecting because they're your friend. They start saying bitchy comments that get under your skin, that make you feel insecure. They take things from you. They act in ways that are hurtful. But because they're your friend, your first instinct is to blame yourself. Well, maybe it's my fault that they've done this. Maybe I'm actually to blame for what they're saying, et cetera, et cetera. So I believe behind the frenemies phenomenon is this phenomena of envy, where the person secretly wants what you have and they're becoming your friend so that they can wound you.
Here's some signs that someone envies you. Belittlement. Anytime someone envies you, they idolize you in some type of way. And what do I mean by that? How do you hate someone but idolize them at the same time? This person sees you on a pedestal, a very, very high one. Whether that be because of your beauty, your gifts, or just the way people love you. And a lot of times your intelligence. This is why you will rarely ever hear that person compliment you. Because in the mind of somebody that's envious of you, you're already on that high pedestal. Giving you a compliment would just boost up your head to them. Because they already see you as boosted, just to be real. And in all honesty, they don't want to see you go any higher than where you already are in their mind. A lot of times this person won't see many flaws in you. They might see little issues that you do have, but what they want from you outweighs all of that. So since they don't see many flaws with you, they have to belittle you and sometimes even create some. For example, you want a husband? Oh, so what are you gonna do about the face? You know, the fat on it? You said you love the way my face looked when I smiled. What's different today? Nothing's different today. She just felt the need to bring you down because she saw a moment or a glimpse of your confidence. And that didn't have to be that day. That could have been days ago, weeks ago, months ago, but she finally found the chance to be able to belittle you in that moment. In her eyes, she had to. She had to humble you back down because at the same time, she wants to keep you around. And that goes to the next point, imitation. You have to truly watch out for the word we. There comes a point when this person starts to say the word we. That's how you know they have gotten deep. For example, I had a buddy and I was wearing Crocs one day. I wore them because my other shoes needed to be washed. But she wouldn't have known that. I came around her, I said, hey. She looked down at my shoes. She looked down at my shoes and said, are we wearing Crocs now? I thought she meant culturally. Like, is it time to bring out the Crocs now? You know? But the next day she came in and she was wearing Crocs. I didn't pay attention to it. When I would pick out certain styles for myself that she did not care for, this is what she would say. People like us don't wear stuff like that. And in my mind, I ignored it at first, but after hearing we about 15 times, I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean we? You mean me? Whenever this person starts to say the word we, be careful. This is the phase right before they start to discard you. And you don't know how far that person will go.
I don't know who need to hear this, but jealousy and insecurity will have people in competition with you who you didn't even know you was in competition with. Just by you existing, somebody out there think they in competition with you. Like if somebody sitting up really comparing their life to yours. And 9 times out of 10, it be somebody close to you. And that's why it is so important for you to check your circle.
Gatekeep everything. When you have a friend who is jealous of you, they are going to try to steal everything you do. And a lot of people are like, just stop being friends with that person. I know that case by case, that is not so simple sometimes. They might be really intertwined in your life, really intertwined in your friend group. But a lot of times you got to just stop opening your mouth and telling them things that you are doing. And I know that that feels so like not the right thing to do because it's your friend. You should be able to like tell them about the exciting things going on in your life. But these people who secretly hate you and are jealous of you, I find that they copy you all the time because they want to wear your skin.
It's crazy how you can just be minding your business, trying to glow up and level up in your life, but then boom, here comes someone bringing chaos, fighting with you, making snide remarks, disrupting your peace. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, it's jealousy or insecurity driving it. These women who are agents of chaos are dangerous, not just to your mood, but to your entire life, your career, your family, your self-esteem. They bring a dark cloud and dark energy, and you don't want to keep that kind of toxicity in your life. I mean, I get it. Sometimes it's hard to believe that someone close to you is actually jealous of you. It could be a friend, coworker, family member, or even the person you're in a relationship with. Sometimes you may brush it off thinking maybe I'm overreacting or everyone gets jealous sometimes. But when Oprah said you can't be friends with someone who's even a little jealous of you, she wasn't lying. Jealousy doesn't just go away, it grows. And before you know it, you're in the middle of a mess you didn't sign up for. Think about it. If you turn on your TV to any reality show, and we've seen this story play out, it's like a bad episode of Love and Hip Hop. You see all the drama, the betrayal, the constant undercutting. Why do you think shows like The First 48, For My Man, or the Fatal Attraction TV series exist? Because people are crazy, jealous, and unstable. But this isn't TV. This is your real life. And when jealousy takes root, it poisons everything. The longer you keep that person around, the worse it gets. So how do you deal with jealousy? The first sign of jealousy should be your cue to exit stage left. No second chances. Protect your peace like you would protect your home. If someone breaks into your peace, they need to go. Period. It's not worth holding on to someone who secretly resents you. I know you have worked hard to build your happiness and build up your life, so don't let a jealous or envious friend ruin it and knock you off your game. They're not going to change, and it's not your job to wait around hoping they will. The moment you feel that negative energy, that shade come off of them, cut them off. So these are the following points that I've gathered on the best way to remove jealous and envious friends with these 5 steps. Number 1, recognize the signs early. If they're throwing shade or little jabs, gossiping about your success, or giving backhanded compliments, you need to pay attention to that and trust your intuition, and don't second guess yourself. Number 2, set boundaries immediately. Don't allow them to invade your space, whether it's physically, emotionally, on social media, or on your phone. Block them on everything. Number 3, limit your interactions. So if it's a coworker or a family member, people that you really can't get away from, start to distance yourself. No more brunches, no more late night heart-to-hearts. Number 4, stay professional at work. If it's a coworker, keep everything strictly business. No personal chats or social media ads, and document all interactions. Number 5, cut them off cleanly. Don't drag it out. Once you've seen that jealousy is a pattern, walk away. No guilt, no apologies, just leave and move on. Ladies, if you're dealing with jealousy in your friendships, I can't stress enough to protect yourself and walk away. I know it's tough, especially when you have history with someone, but your peace and safety is priceless. Stay tuned for my next video, because I will be discussing how to recognize if you're in a relationship with someone that is secretly jealous of you. You could literally be sleeping with the enemy. Drop a comment below if you've had to let go of a jealous friend, and let's talk about how to elevate from here. And don't forget to download your free life audit worksheet, which is designed to help you assess and improve 8 key areas of your life, which includes your friendships and relationships, so you can get back on track and start living with more peace, purpose, and ease. I'll link it in the description box. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos, and share this with someone you know who might need to hear this message. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.